Figuring out your own identity can take a long time. You may know yourself at an early age, or you may still be figuring yourself out well into adulthood. But there's no time limit for these questions. Getting to know yourself can be quite the awesome adventure, and hopefully it's an adventure that never ends. And no matter what, no one knows you better than yourself. There are many ways to look at ourselves, and figuring ourselves out can be an ongoing thing for many of us. Try to embrace the mystery that you are, all the things that help you relate to others, and all the things that make you stand out. Becoming an adult shouldn't mean losing the sense of who you are. Of course not, you can still be a kid at heart, just learn about the world around you, as well as skills that will help you and others. And learning to become an adult is not a race, so no pressure in figuring it all out. Growing older is something you should never be scared of. It will bring new responsibilities, but those responsibilities don't necessarily mean sacrificing the things that have always brought a smile to your face. Don't abandon that inner child. Pursue the things you're passionate about, because by doing so, you may be growing older, but you don't have to completely grow up. Phases, although sometimes embarrassing, aren't inherently artificial. They're the building blocks of the person you are now. We're constantly growing, and our experiences shape us. The friendships you have don't have to be limited by distance, and if you're not comfortable with the direction you're going, there's no pressure. You can always make another change. And I hope that you all continue to be inspired by this wonderful world to create your own amazing pieces of art. If you're creating with your own honest voice, then that's all the originality you need. It can be fairly common for each of us to lose our drive, our main reason for going, every now and again. In moments like these, it might be helpful to take stock in our surroundings, remind ourselves of what we hope to achieve, and examine how we conduct ourselves on a daily basis. Small course corrections like these can go a long way to helping us embrace each new day with excitement and hope. There are plenty of people out there dealing with conditions where anxiety isn't as easily manageable, and too much can of course be a hindrance, but for many of you, by taking time to accept it as a natural part of you, by making it feel heard and not letting it dominate you, hopefully managing your anxiety will get a little easier each day. I know that intrusive thoughts, especially intrusive thoughts of the disturbing variety, are a taboo subject that can be scary to deal with, and sometimes scarier to talk about, even though it's a relatively common phenomenon. It's easy to feel like you've crossed some line and thought the unthinkable, but please, if there's one thing you take away from this video, let it be this. Those thoughts that you may have thought do not define you. We are thinking machines. Your brain generates ideas so easily, you literally do it in your sleep. So a thought alone cannot make you a bad person, especially an unwelcome thought. While there is likely more that you can do to put good into the world, you shouldn't beat yourself up over what you can't do, or what you haven't done before. It doesn't help anyone, so don't overthink it. Just try. All you have to do is try your best to be helpful and to do your part, whatever that is, with the understanding that you can never get doing good down to a science. It's gonna look different for everyone. And don't be afraid to give to yourself either. If someone else ever did as much for you as you've probably done for yourself, you would owe them everything. Treat yourself the way you would treat someone who has endlessly labored to give you a better life, or who has always helped you to remain on your feet through the toughest, most emotionally challenging periods of your life. Try to find your balance between doing good for others and doing good for yourself, because finding a universally correct balance between the two is impossible, and sometimes painful. Problems won't be solved all at once. It's unrealistic to expect that. But it is important to talk about things, especially concerning reoccurring problems, to think critically about them, not ignore them, and hope they'll pass. It's okay if nothing gets fixed right away. You've taken an important first step. You looked at the puzzle, and hopefully got your hands on that first edge piece. To echo the words of American journalist Paul Roberts, in the end, the most damaging, forbidden thought, the one we have been trained to block at every turn, may simply be that we are really okay. You're real. Don't let anyone tell you differently. Pretending that we're not flawed is irresponsible. By recognizing and working on our flaws, we're taking the best steps forward to being more true and honest with ourselves. So just trust yourself. Perhaps the main thing to focus on is just one step in front of the other, kiddo. You can do it. I'm rooting for you.